The success story of Tom and Judy McCarty is one built not only on hard work, but on risk and reward. Neither of them are native Kansans. Tom grew up on the family farm in northeast Pennsylvania. Judy was raised in Rochester, New York. After earning his agricultural education degree from Penn State University, Tom was a teacher for a few years. Judy was student teaching while pursuing her degree from Mansfield University, and that's how they connected. They eventually returned to Tom's family dairy farm, Tom purchasing it from his father in the 70s. But circumstances led the McCartys to relocate their dairy enterprise to Thomas County, northwest Kansas, in 1999, where they expanded their operation. And now, with their 4 sons fully involved, the McCartys are milking 13,000 cows across 5 dairies, 3 in Kansas at Rexford, Scott City, and Bird City, 1 in Nebraska, 1 in Ohio. As they became more and more ingrained in the local community, they became leaders on that front as well. Tom notes that historically, dairying runs deep in the McCarty family.
My granddad in, let's say 1914, had about seven cows. He died, I think, about 1945, and my dad, one of 4 brothers, took over. Small dairy, about 40 cows. There wasn't, obviously with 40 cows, there wasn't enough room for me. Judy and I built a new setup. Typically, back in that world, it was tie stall barns, stanchion barns. So we built a new setup in 1970. We got up to about 250 cows. Two older boys got out of, they graduated from Lycoming College in Williamsport, PA. Both of them in 95, they decided to come back.
Let's then talk more about the transition from Pennsylvania to Kansas. Now, you made the move in, was it 99? Is that correct?
Yes, right.
And how did you establish this dairy virtually from scratch?
Well, we've never been opposed to outside opinions. We started out right off the start in 1995 with K-State Extension, the dairy team. We used them on, just fundamental design.
How many cows did you start out with in Kansas?
About 700, 800.
Your philosophy was a tanker load of milk a day.
Right.
So what's the secret to making that work, to building an operation up to that magnitude of output?
Be patient, be aggressive, don't be afraid to gamble, which we have.
We're going to fast forward here a bit, but now, present day, not only is the operation near Rexford fully functional and certainly viable, but you have actually, within McCarty LLC, 5 dairies, 3 in Kansas, 1 in Nebraska, 1 now in Ohio. Mm-hmm. So obviously something has gelled pretty well with this.
Our 4 sons, we got them here, and they just taken off.
Yeah.
And they all have different interests in the dairy, too. Everybody has their place. And we have great employees. Key people that have been here, one will be celebrating 20 years.
Yeah. Talk about that a little more, because you've embraced your employees over the years, according to your resume, basically as family. You've tried to keep that atmosphere around, and that's functioned well for you in terms of productivity as well as working atmosphere.
No, it's that's a key thing. But we prefer to hire families. That creates more stability for us, and like the school districts. Started out with a handful of people, and with this Ohio deal that's only been operating for about 2 months, we're over 200.
One of the hallmarks of all of your dairies is your commitment to sustainability and an environmentally conscious approach to what you do.
Yes.
Very important to you. Why so?
Well, it's just the right thing to do. I mean, a lot of these things that we do don't really cost that much, but my God, if you can practice those things and it's not just for show. We truly believe in sustainability. Well, water conservation is monumental.
Yeah.
Monumental.
Enormous in this area.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, one thing when we built the plant, which we didn't know at the time, we gather 65 to 75,000 gallons of water a day off that plant. And we use it to water cattle some, use it to clean inside that facility itself, and then some goes in the lagoon for irrigation. But we use water probes, which I don't know the exact number, but it has saved us a ton of water.
Even to this day, the two of you stay aggressive in these new ideas, it sounds.
Oh, sure. You've got to be. Yeah. I mean, why? You can't be complacent.
Let's talk about your community involvement. And although you've been here for less than 20 years in the Thomas County area, you both have committed to that. And you mentioned the families that make up the employee pool and schools and what have you. But your involvement is broader than that locally, is it not?
Oh, I'm on the Thomas County Foundation Board that gives grants to people in the county. One thing the dairy does that a lot of people don't realize is every place that we have a dairy, we supply the elementary schools with a cup of yogurt per child every day.
They call that program Yogurt for Youth. So.
That's great outreach and
Yeah, I think
connectivity
so.
to
Yeah.
the community.
Yeah, and you know, when you move into a new area, people don't know you. They're always a little leery, you know, like, what are they like? Now you go and like this Yogurt for Youth, that helps the community see that we do want to be part of the community.
Well, lastly, and we've touched upon this before, all four of your boys at various levels, at various locations, are involved in McCarty Dairy LLC and are successful. They've each taken a different type of role, but all have acclimated to those roles extremely well. So the future of the operation at the 5 locations, maybe more in the future, looks bright. In fact, is expansion further in the cards, do you think?
Yes. Definitely. There's a lot of things that are being talked about. Whether these things actually take place, who knows? But like I say, we're not afraid to gamble. But we like to be somewhat of a realistic gambler.
And your boys have taken that same philosophy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they sort of, I shouldn't say sort of, they retired us.
But you're not far away. So.
Oh, no. And I still do all the tours and that kind of stuff. But as far as the finance end, you know, we're not, they've done a great job.
It's been a successful translocation by all appearances.
Best move we ever made, wouldn't you say?
Yes, well, no question.
Yeah.
Tom and Judy McCarty, Kansas Master Farmer, Master Farm Homemaker, class of 2018.